Okay, so we're going to quickly go over the group policies and try to implement some group policies and some rules of thumb, and then we go ahead and try some other stuff. So group policy, any one-liner for that? Oh, did I just show that one-liner? Security. Okay. Can anyone tell me what other things we can do with group policy? Customization. Okay. Anyone else? Group policy? Deployment. Yes. .MSI software we can deploy. Anyone else? Permissions. Okay. Kinda. Yeah. That's permissions. Group policy? It's kind of a little different. A little. Yeah. So group policies, when we can just control our network with all those features you said. So we can actually block some portions of the windows. There are 1,600 plus group policies and more, and they're adding more and more and more with every new update or with new versions, additions of Windows. And you can, so it's when we say 1,600 plus group policies, this means every portion of the Windows, like Internet Explorer, the documents, the start menu, whatever you think, you can customize them according to your company needs, or block them, or allow permissions. You are controlling your whole Windows network with group policies, right? Group policies, when you implement a group, suppose I'm implementing group policies on 20,000 users, I go to the policy and then I block desktop. So when it implements on the users, suppose it's a user policy, so where exactly did I make changes in the user's computer?
Under user configuration.
That's on the group policy side, right? So on the user side, Windows 7, where exactly, what changed that the policy got implemented? Group policy when you implement, on the user side, it changes something there, and then the policy actually gets implemented. Exactly. It changes the registry of the Windows, registry values, right? Registry values of user-friendly area is group policy. But we can go directly to the registry values and change that too. But of course, then it's not going to be implemented. So, well, it's going to be implemented just one, and it's not user-friendly. And Microsoft always says if you do something wrong with the registry, you can, the operating system will start behaving not normally. Okay. Second thing, where do group policy live? Okay, near, very near, but where exactly? Yes, that was the definition I was giving all the time, right? The sys volume is the system volume is the repository and distribution point of group policies and scripts. Repository, it's living there, right? Distribution point, it gets distributed there from there as well. So it's a one-liner, defining the whole working of the group policy. So a group of registry settings, it says here, not security groups, it's totally different from that. So GPO files are living in sysvol, linked to Active Directory OU templates, more can be added to default. We're going to see and talk about that. Linked to Active Directory, so on what three levels group policy can be linked and implemented on? One is OU. On the OU level, you can attach a group policy and it gets implemented. Second is domain level. And third is, so domain level you can implement, and on the domain, if you implement, the whole users under the domain can get implemented. And third is? Third is? Yeah, sites. Domain level, OU, and sites. So when I say a site can have many domains and a domain can have many sites, can you explain that? A site can have many domains. Okay, what is that? What do you mean by that?
A site can have many domains.
For example, torrent is a site.
Sorry?
Toronto is a site for office. Toronto site.
Oh, we are about today. We are planning to talk about sites as well. I mean, okay, but Toronto as a site. So a physical campus, right?
Yeah.
Let's consider that. So physical campus, Humber. So, for example, for example, Humber.com, Humber.local is a domain, right? And then you can have
Toronto.humber.com.
yeah.
Scarborough.humber.com.
Exactly,
All
child
different
domains,
sites.
right?
Yeah.
But a site can have many domains. Again, you're going for a different physical campus now. That is possible, but within Humber here, yeah, you're saying?
There can be different sites under Humber.
Yeah, in this you can have building 2 dot Humber dot local, building 3 dot Humber dot local. A site can have many domains. Just create one Humber dot local and then create child domains, right? You know what are the we remember what is the purpose of child domain? What do we do for that? Okay, separation of administration,
Yeah.
right? If you have 10,000 users in Humber.local parent domain, they won't replicate to the suppose building 1 dot parent domain Humber.local. So separation of administration, right? Decentralization. So site can have many domains. We understand that. A domain can have many sites. Okay, now can you give me an example of that?
Humber.local site. So
Is a domain, yeah.
It's a domain. So if you consider the building 1 is one side, building 2 is another side, building 3 is another side, then we can create 3 other domains for that.
Same domain, sequence.
One domain, many sites.
Yes.
So this means what? How do you? Sorry.
Depends on the boundary, because that will be the boundary has to be high and consistent.
Yes.
If they are not all connected, you have to divide it to different sides.
Exactly. Depends on the bandwidth. You can have. Okay, Humber.local. You know what? If I quickly create that here.
And we may have a different location, different campus in different locations, but we have one domain.
Yes. Exactly. So if you have these these 3 different pyramids. Oh no, it's the Humber.local. So Humber.local. If you have not created a child domain here, if you did not create a child domain here, what do you do? Now, whatever policies you implemented here for the users and computers here, all the users and computers here will also inherit that policy. All users and computers here will also inherit that policy. So this means that when you create the root DC of Humber.local here, you create a replica DC for that, right? Replica DC for that. So here also replica, 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 and replica. If it was multiple domains per site, you would have suppose this is not under one domain. So here you would create a child domain, and it would be, suppose it's Milton dot Humber dot local. Now it is a child domain with all its separate administration, right? So you can have users and computers here as well, but now this site is not under one domain. So this does not apply on that one domain. There can be many sites under one domain. So here replica servers are replicating any changes that are going on here, right? You created 500 users. 500 users created here as well. 500 users can be seen here as well. But 500 users cannot be seen in a child domain for any parent domain, right? So this means that if you want to keep all the users, yes, the bandwidth has to be good between the branches. That it's going to be so between the sites, domain controllers talk to each other every. Now I went the other way actually. So first I always used to say within the site, domain controllers talk to each other every 45 seconds. Now it's between the sites, domain controllers talk to each other every 180 minutes or 3 hours. By default, we can change that. And within the site, domain controllers talk to each other every 45 seconds, right? Okay, so between the sites, they will talk to each other every 180 minutes, right? And here also they will talk, but they have they don't talk about the domain partition, which is the day-to-day changings where are going on. So domain level, it will only be getting replication for global catalog server, and on forest level and DNS as well, but not on domain partition. So the main thing here to say is that humber.local, if these three sites are under one domain, it is possible. All you need to do is put replica DCs there, and the users of those other sites will just still be authenticated locally, right? Because replica DCs are there. So this means there could be many sites under one domain, and then there could be many domains under one site. Is this that milton.humber.local is there, so you can just put building one. So yeah, we talked about that, right? So building one and humber.domain, then you can just create child sites of this child site event, right? milton.local, and you keep going that, so one site will have multiple domains, right? Now why did I start that? So if you implement a policy on site level, right, if there are many domains under one site, whatever is under one site gets that policy, right? So we're going to go there and start this, but for that we need to discuss. Okay, let's just first go there. So where does it live? First thing. Second thing, what levels we can implement that. So for that, everyone has started the servers. Yay! Except me. No, it's one forest. Yeah, one forest tree. Even if it's tree domain, it's okay. But okay, this is a very good point. If under one site there are many domains, but they are child domains and tree domains, so whatever domain can take this policy under that site will get that, but others won't. So this is another tricky point. But child domains do not grab the policy of the parent domain. So already if there are multiple domains, if the parent domain policy was implemented by parent domain, and if there are multiple child domains, they still won't get that policy. But under the site, whichever one domain can implement that, it will implement on that domain, right? Under the site, if you put the policy on site level. But if there are child domains, no, they will still not get that. And tree domains, they won't get that. They are administratively separate. Okay, so let's implement. This will be a little quick. Oh, that's my first server. Okay, let's log into that and try to go to group policy management and implement our first policy, just to see how many components are there, how many areas to touch to get the group policy be tested by us, right? So here, everyone on domain controller? Yes. Everyone logged into domain controller? See, almost. Okay. So let's go Magnifico and then tools, and everyone sees this group policy management, right? And everyone sees this group policy management console. So this is the console. There is an editor as well. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Huh? This is in DC. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. So I'm just pausing that. Resume. So everyone there on the that group policy console. So there is domains and then sites, but let's just go for domain here. So there is that default domain policy that is already created, right? So do not show. I'm just gonna click that do not show and press OK. So this is one policy, and there is another already created policy for domain controllers as well, right? So there's one policy for default domain policy and one for default domain controllers policy. Now if we click the default domain policy, there's that settings here. There's that settings here. Oh, So in settings, you can see that what portions of the policy have been implemented, right? So it's still loading, okay. And while it is loading, I'm just going for delegation. But if we go back here, yeah, this is the settings that we are, sorry sir, we had to start. Sir Rajan, come on, okay. So, okay, so security settings, everyone there? When you expand that, you can see all the policies that had already been, for security reasons, Microsoft has implemented those policies, right? So if we just clicked default domain policy and went to settings, that's all we did, right? So now, I wanted to show you where those policies are living and is that definition really true. So if you have kept on clicking here, so go for details here. So default domain policy and details tab, everyone there? So now you can see that there's a unique ID here for the policy. So it's an object, GroupPolicy object, right? So is the last four numbers different for everyone? 84F9 is mine. Anyone has the same 84F9? They are. It's same for everyone, right? So are the first four same exactly for this policy, default domain policy? The first four are also the same? 31B2. First four. It's 31B2 for everyone, right? Hey, only yours is different, right? So maybe the rest of us, you took the ISO from me. So maybe that one Windows has us, because all other classes, they always say it's different. Okay. So just remember that 31B2 or 84F9. Keep this window open and let's go quickly to File Explorer, like this. File Explorer, and go to C drive. Everyone there? Then go to Windows. Now if we click anywhere here and go for SYS, syswall, or just S and then keep going down, but SYS just gets us. So everyone sees inside the Windows syswall. Double click that, domain, double click that, domain, right? And then either policies or scripts live inside the syswall, right? If you go to the policies, the first policy was this 84F9 31B2. Second is, okay, everyone has the first four same, 6AC1. Okay, 6AC1 for everyone same. So keep it open and minimize this. And the second default policy is here for under the domain controllers on the, so if you click that, 6AC1 is this one, right? So now we know that yes, they do live there in the syswall folder. If somehow syswall folder is not available, we cannot implement the policies, right? Also, if you have implemented a policy through syswall, it will be implemented, right? At what time it gets implemented on the users and computers? What are they doing when that implements? Either GP updates are forced. Suppose there are 10,000 computers. Now we cannot do that, right? So when will it automatically get implemented?
Next login?
Yes. Next login for user, next startup for machine. Suppose, okay, there are 200 users and they did not log off. Like normal users, they just don't log off at all. Like they lock the PC and go home, and then next day they just unlock it, right? So they don't log. This means computer did not restart, user did not log in. What happens? How the policy gets implemented then? 120 minutes. It refreshes as well, right? If it reaches that refresh to all, otherwise network bottlenecks keep it even slower. So better if they restart or log off and log in. Otherwise 120 minutes, it's supposed to refresh. This is not a guarantee thing. Microsoft says 120 minutes, just keep it there, but if their network is busy, it's not gonna send that refresh. So so these are three ways. Then syswall, through syswall they get implemented. Now there are two major categories here. Oops. So let's go to editor, but before that let's just create a policy so we could go to the editor. So if you want to create a policy, the best practice is to go to group policy objects, right? Why? If you right click here, group policy objects, this is where there are no users and computers under this folder, right? The rest are OUs, the rest you can, if you implement a policy directly on domain, suppose, it's and as soon as you click apply, it's gonna implement, right, across the domain. But here, group policy objects, this is a safe point for them, right?
No users and no computer.
Yeah, they're not going to be under this. So if you create a policy, always create here. It does not get right away implemented unless you link it either on OU level, domain level, or site level, right? So let's create a new policy here, and let's name it block desktop. This is the most visible policy. At once we get to know that it's implemented, we don't have to go under any folder structures. So everyone type that. So press OK. Block desktop policy, we created group policy object, we created here under the group policy objects folder. So block desktop is here, but it's useless, it's not doing anything, right? So right click the block desktop and go to edit. So we were inside this console, we are inside this console, now the editor opens. So that's group policy editor, right? For each policy we can go edit and implement the policy. So everyone there? So right click block desktop and edit. Everyone there? Okay, so this is the editor, and two major categories are computer configuration and user configuration, right? So user configuration, when we go expand and go to policies, before that, if I expand both and keep it on this level, so there's computer configuration with policies and preferences and user configuration with policies and preferences. There's a difference between the two. Policies get implemented and the end users cannot touch them. End users cannot make any changes. Preferences, what are preferences? Choices also. What happened that Microsoft experts, some other programming experts, system administrators who are programmers as well with good scripting knowledge, so they've been coming up with lots of scripts throughout the last 10-15 years, right? So whenever some script is out and it is adopted on very large levels, so many users across the globe implemented that script, right, for anything. So in preferences, Microsoft has added all those scripts which were very, very successful across the globe, and now those scripts are here in the preferences. But of course they really tested it, and of course the whole globe actually tested that, so Microsoft don't have to do much more testing. Second thing, preferences, when you implement, users can still change that setting if they want to. Policies, when you implement, no way users can touch that.
Even without local admin?
Without local admin. If you change through preferences, you added a printer, they can delete that, right? They can, and when it comes back, when they log off and log in again, it's not coming back. Policies, through that, it's gonna come back again. The policy will get implemented again, right? So preferences are a bunch of scripts, but they're very useful, and we can implement that too. But let's just go to the policies and check which other areas we need to touch to get a basic policy working, right? So we will know, oh, that's our group policy work. Then there are many other features here. So so I'm just gonna close this computer configuration and keep the user configuration open and go to policies. Everyone there? So there are administrative templates here, which are called ADMX files, and this covers lots of areas. If you expand that, this covers lots of areas of control panel for the Windows, the client machines as well as the server operating systems. So all the areas of a typical Windows machine, client machine or server machine, most probably mostly for the client machines. These are the areas, network areas, control panel. There's a huge amount of stuff in control panel, right? You can just play with any one of those, right? And go for and change them for thousands of users. One thing, they cannot change it back. So network, shared folders, start menu, system, and then Windows components. If you go there, it's a huge list altogether, right? Windows components, it goes, so that's what I was saying, 1,600 plus group policies. Now let's go to a typical, very easy to trace back or see policy. So click on desktop, and then go for second one here. Everyone sees that on the right side, hide and disable all items of the desktop. If we implement that and it implements on the user, so when the user logs in, what will happen? You know what? You cannot right click. You cannot right click, you cannot change the wallpaper. Anything on the desktop is blocked.
No icon.
No icons. And yeah, the recycle bin that appears. In our case, we have server to check. You know, Windows 2012 server. If we add Windows 8, Windows 7, same thing actually. There's already recycle bin there, right? So recycle bin will not be, but if you want to create a new folder, you cannot right click even. Okay, so double click that. When you double click, there's that not configured enabled, or you specifically want to disable this policy. If it was enabled before and you want to disable it, so go for disable, so it will you know, implement right away. But let's just enable it, right? In the end, when we apply that on any users and it gets implemented, it's making changes in the registry of that computer, right? Okay, what is registry anyway? Yeah, configuration and settings of operating system and applications. So application settings, as you said. So registry contains, sorry, plus hardware. For CD-ROM, what are the values? For display card, what are the values? And so Sir Rajan has commented today. That was the first. Oh, okay. So no, but really, it's very good. We are so, you know, indebted. So no, this is out of respect, from heart, core of that. Okay, anyway, so enable that and click apply. Okay, so this policy has been implemented. If I go scroll to the right side, it should show like this: enable, right? Enable, it's enabled, right? So we have done our work in the editor for now, so we can close this. You don't have to click save anywhere because there is nowhere to save, right? It doesn't show save button. So close, just the editor, not the group policy console, just the editor, right? So close. Now group policy console, we are back here. Now block desktop is there, and if you go to details, there is a new you know, unique ID or GUID has been given to this policy as well. It's an object. Second thing, if you go to settings, you can still see where exactly did you implement that, because we had to go down further levels. So this is a very easy way to, quick way to see where did you implement in the, under the user configuration, under the policies, when you click administrative templates and you click desktop, now you can see hide and disable all items on the desktop enabled, right? So under the user configuration, policies, administrative templates, this, everyone sees that, right? So now, is this policy useful? It's implemented, right? No, not yet. We have to link it somewhere, right? So for that, now we need to create an OU and we have to transfer some users there, right? We can create organizational unit from within this group policy object, but we cannot create users or groups here, right? So let's keep this window open and go to server manager and then go to tools and Active Directory users and computers, right? So did we already create that? No, we did not. Okay. Or yeah. So let's just create two OUs. So right click on the domain like this and go to new and go to organizational unit. Everyone there? Everyone there? Yeah. Okay. So new organizational unit is, so no, that's an organizational unit as well. Come on, man. Oh, accounts department. I always start with accounts department because these guys pay the bills. Oh, okay, check. So okay, accounts department, press OK and right click again. Now inside the accounts department directly, let's just create user 01. So first is we created an OU called accounts department. Did we do that already, where you can, how to delete a OU? Yeah. it's protected. So guys, since we are here and it's a quick one and we should know that, so I want to delete that. Right click and delete. See, we have administrative privileges, we can do that, right? Wrong. So why can't we do that? You do not have sufficient privileges. Seriously, I am an enterprise admin. How dare you?
Accidental.
So then view, yeah, it's protected from accidental deletion. We want to really delete it if our boss says no, we don't want that, suppose. So you go to view, you go to advanced features, view, advanced features. Now so many other hidden folders have shown up. Where is our accounts department? There you go. So right click now the accounts department, go to properties, right, everyone there? Then you go for object tab. You can uncheck, so object tab and uncheck protect object from accidental deletion, right? Now apply and OK. So it is now unprotected officially. So whenever you always create this, go to view first, always uncheck it. After checking it and doing whatever you want, just uncheck it like this, right? Never leave it checked. So there are many sensitive folders that are then exposed. Okay, so then now right click accounts department and delete, and gone. But yeah, that was just an exercise, just an extra knowledge thing. So right click and let's just create that again. So new organizational unit and accounts department, press OK. Now let's directly create a user inside accounts department quickly, which is user 01, right? So right click accounts department, go to user like this and user 01 like this. Oops, 01. Next, okay, uncheck this. Remember to uncheck this. User must change password next login here, but in production environment always check it, right? Here uncheck it, but we don't want to waste extra time to give a new password. So everyone there? Next, finish. So this user 01 is inside accounts department, and let's just refresh it a couple of million times. Okay, refreshed. Everyone created that? Yes. Okay, thank you. So let's go down and let's go to our this document icon you can see down here, which takes us to group policy management. Everyone there? Now let's just attach it to that account. Where's the accounts department? How do we get it if we don't see that? Exactly. Right click on the domain and go for refresh. Inside the group policy management, right click and go refresh. So accounts department is here and we know there's a user, but we cannot see from here, of course, right? From group policy management we are not supposed to see that. Okay, so where's the policy? Inside the group policy objects, and we want to attach or link this policy to the accounts department, so the policy could be implemented on user 01. Yeah, so users of accounts department. So right click the accounts department and link an existing GPO. Everyone there? And do you see the block desktop? Double click that. You're there? Where are you? Oh, you got 911 beside you. You're in good hands. Okay, whenever we make a change in the group policy, we run a command GP update /force. So guys, now when you open the command prompt, do not close it. We need it because we're going to change many policies here now. So when you go here, right click command prompt admin, although we don't need admin, but let's just go for admin. Without admin also GP update will just work fine. But when you now open it, don't close this command prompt. So GP update /force, enter. Okay, so once do it done, then we go and check the policy. Okay, successful everyone. So do we have the second machine? Okay, server 2. Let's just log in from this guy. Really? Yeah, it does take a little while. So log in from which account do we log in from? Server 2? User 01, which we just created, right? So other user, we're gonna go, I'm on server 2 now. Make sure gp update /force was run on server 1. Then we go for server 2, log in from user 01. So other user, and go to user 01 and enter. Everyone seeing this? No, you cannot log in for user 01? You can, right? Okay. Okay, so snapshot, yeah, that. Okay, so everyone logged in? So activated and join to domain. Okay, good. You can right click on the desktop? You cannot. Good. So anyone can right click? No one should be able to, right? Okay. This is the first one. Let's go. So this is, it is implemented for everyone, or it, so anybody missed it? So logging in. Oh man, that's a very good computer. Okay. I mean, like very good. I mean, I mean it. Timpix.
I can right click on the start menu and get like run and stuff like that.
But on the desktop,
No.
we never blocked the start menu. Yep. Desktop is secure. Even if we try to do something, it's not gonna show up there. So if we go user 01, let's just go for the next policy, guys, quickly, so we can just finish all the million topics as well, other topics. Okay, so if I'm logged in now and right click, yeah, it's implemented, but that's not over yet. Let's go. So it is implemented for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Everyone except the North Pole or South Pole or pole behind the pole. Oh yeah. So next, server 01.
If you go to the Explorer, then we can see the desktop
Yeah.
icon and other things.
Exactly. From that folder, yes, but if you want to create something there, then also before the policy implementation, if you had created already something, that will stay there. Anything new, no way, right? So guys, everyone back to server 1. Okay, do not close the command prompt. So just minimize the command prompt. Let's go for the next one. Now we need to create another child OU and the user. So I'm going back to Active Directory users and computers. Everyone back to ADUC, Active Directory and computers. Yes, yeah. Okay, accounts department here, and right click here on the accounts department inside ADUC, Active Directory and computers. Everyone there? So new OU. Now we are creating a child OU, right? So this is for New York. Just accounts, but New York, right? So New York only, and press OK, and protect container from accidental deletion. Everyone created that? So there's a no. So right click the accounts department, go to new, go to organizational unit. Everyone there? And then create a organizational unit called New York. That's all, right? So now inside the New York, let's quickly create a user called user 02. Okay, so right click New York child OU and go for new and go for user again. This time it's user 02. User 02, Control C, Control V, user 02, next. Uncheck user must change password at next logon, and yep, any password for and forget. Okay, So put the password here and next. Finish. Everyone did that? Yes. Okay, refresh. Refresh 2 times. Now let's go back to our group policy console, right? Now we have a parent OU and a child OU, right? So everyone back to group policy management. Hey, we're going fast today. It's the samosa power. So refresh. Huh? Yeah, Timbits plus samosa. It's a cocktail. So it's it's Timosa. So it's something Tim and samosa bits. Timosa. Okay, so we have a child domain, child OU showing here under the accounts department inside group policy management console for everyone like this. So now, hey, okay, it's a deadly combination. It's too tasty today. One very sugary and the second is spicy. That's the best combination, right? Every time. Okay, so what happens here is now we test the second feature. There's a user 01. So what happens first of all? Will the true or false? If we implemented a policy on the accounts department parent OU, will it implement on user 2 as well? It inherits the whole thing. So if there were many should be right. So many child domain, child OU, it's not domain. So child OUs, it will inherit. It will keep on inheriting unless we do block inheritance. So user 2, we can test it as well, but rule of thumb is that it's gonna inherit. If there's a child OU, the parent OU policy will inherit the child OU users as well. But
if we allow, if we create a group policy for allowing desktop and assign that child OU, will it work?
so that's a conflict now, right?
No, for example, under parent OU to have 10 child OU, but I want to allow for a single OU.
Okay.
Then what will happen?
You know, the policy on the top will be always will take precedence, but the next actual lab is about that. If the child OU doesn't want that or it's conflicting, it's the same policy, or if it's another policy, go ahead and implement as long as they don't conflict with each other, right? Otherwise it will override. So the parent will override, right? So what's going on here, the block desktop is implemented on the New York OUs as well. New Yorkers are, they haven't, anyone here New Yorker? They have attitude, right? Problems. So they are, we're not taking this block desktop. Who the hell is it? Okay, anyway, so go for right click and go for block desktop, but we need to test it. We already assume that parent policy did implement on user 2, right? Because it inherits. Now click block desktop. Everyone sees this exclamation mark? Refresh. Okay, we have refresh here. So right click in the group policy management on the domain and refresh. So it should look like this on the New York, right? They just blocked the desktop policy, but go for command prompt, which was already open, up arrow, enter. So once it is done, we go to the second server, we log off from user 1 and log in from user 2, and what are we expecting there? To be able to right click. The desktop should not be blocked. The inheritance of policy is blocked. If block inheritance doesn't work, you should not be able to right click. If block inheritance works, which it will, it should, then you should be able to create a new folder.
By the way, like on server 2, you can't restart or shut down like you're signing up.
Oh, but
With that, with the user one.
so that is also taken away.
No, you can't restart it. Under that policy, you can't restart it.
For New York, you have to link again. For New York, you have to link again.
For New York, so what I did here was New York, I just blocked it. So I went to the New York child OU and just clicked it. That's it. Okay guys, so do we understand, do we all, it's okay for us? We did not test the user 2 yet. We should have tested that the policy is implementing, the block desktop is enabled, right? So we assumed that, right? Now it should not be implemented, so you should be able to right click. So after block inheritance, we did the GP updates by force. Then we went to server 2 here, and now we are going for we're just going to sign out from here now. Sign out like this because we logged in for user 1, right? So when you sign out and go for other user, which is user 02, user 02, and log in.
It's interesting, you can right click, but if you right click on the start menu, you go to restart, shut down, you can't do that, you just sign up.
Okay, that's a very good point Kevin is asking or making. Okay, why are we seeing just sign out and not restart for any users we are logging in?
Well, maybe that's a default in the policy.
No, what default rules?
Default.
2.
But I know for users.
Yes, these are normal domain users. They don't have privileges. If they log into servers, even if they log into no, for client machines it's okay. For servers, they have limited permissions to do stuff, right? And this is not a domain controller. Domain controller, they cannot log in at all, right? In member servers, they have limited permissions. Okay, so but the group policy implements. So it is implementing, right? So let's log out now. If you have checked it, yes, it's right clicking. Let's sign out. Sign out. Everyone signed out? Okay, let's go back to server 1. There's still another feature. Okay, then the accounts department Toronto got to know that somebody in New York did that. Okay, so you go back to block desktop, right click and enforce. What does this is like a war started between Toronto and New York, right? So those guys blocked it, so you enforce. Enforce does what? Okay, start and check if it is not active. It should be activated, right? Maybe it's not. Sorry. So enforce means exactly that if there's a blockage of on any level. Normally in big companies there's a huge amount of child OUs. Any junior admin can could have done that block inheritance. Enforce just means whoever does what, it's that blocking will be ineffective. It won't implement. Enforce means whatever policy I'm enforcing, it gets implements to the down level, to the bottom of the any child OUs, to the last child OU, right? So if we click enforce now, let's do that. So any blockade here is ineffective now. So refresh, and then go for command prompt. Oh, before Kevin comes back, let's just quickly do that. So okay. So let's do quickly. Oh, okay. So GP address have force. Yeah, all we did was right click the policy and enforce. So you're on the policy. So it's the block desktop here. See this? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And GP address have force. Now, what are we expecting here? When we have signed out from user 2, right? Yeah, it's okay. Blue icon should be there, so we could check enforce works or not. Because enforce is what? Don't enable or don't let the policy implement block inheritance. What is block inheritance? Don't inherit policy from the parent OU. We're not accepting that policy. So they blocked inheritance on that OU. Now you enforce. When you enforce, it's just block inheritance is still there, but it's going to not be effective anymore. It will stop. It will not be blocking anymore. The policy will implement. So what are we expecting when we log in from user 2? Not right click again. We were able to right click because we blocked the policy on the OU level, New York OU level. User 2 is under New York, right? So now when we enforce, even though block policy is there, it's not going to be effective anymore, because enforce just, it does not physically remove that. We still see the icon, but it is not effective. So let's log into user 2 again. So user 2, what are we expecting? Exactly, block desktop implements again. Well, did it for everyone? It works, right? So block desktop is implemented again, which is, so this is enforced while the block inheritance is still there. So let's go back now and go ahead and check other features. Okay, one more thing here. Now you see that I have linked the block desktop to the accounts department. So if see this also, group policy objects, expand that. So block desktop originally was created here. It is linked under the accounts department, right? So what if I don't need that policy and I delete that policy from here, right click and this. For the block desktop, if I delete, will the whole policy be deleted? Oh, it's only a link. So if we delete, only the link will be deleted, not the policy. But if we do the same thing in the group policy objects, what will happen? Then the whole policy will be gone, right? So right click on the desktop level and delete. We could just uncheck this link and it will not be linked anymore, right? Or we can delete here. So if we click delete, it says, do you want to delete this link? This will not delete the GPO itself. The group policy object is still here, right? Press OK. We also want to get rid of this block inheritance. So right click this New York child OU, and well, it's not inheriting anything now. Well, if there was any parent policy for the domain, then it would. So block inheritance, uncheck this. So both icons have been removed. Well, this icon only, because the policy is gone unlinked. So let's go ahead a little and talk about the starter OU quickly. WMI filters. So domain controllers have their own default domain controllers policy. We're not supposed to touch them, and domain has its own default policy. We're not supposed to touch that too. We can just see, okay, for default domain controller, where the changes were made, what were the changes made. It is all about computer configuration, right? So it's all about the security of the computers. So that's a lot of policies that have been implemented for the domain controller. If you go for local policy security options, there are so much more. So we're not supposed to touch these policies, domain policy and domain controller policy. So let's go ahead and, so WMI filters. Anyone knows what is that? What is WMI? Windows Management Instrumentation. What is that? Yeah, correct. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so license key? No, activate.
Unexpired.
No, activate. So I think it was never activated. So add a new network card and connect it to internet, and in 5-6 seconds it should be activated, right?
Instrumentation is related to hardware, for instance, CPU.
So WMI, now if you want to put a script there, a script goes and connects to a remote system or current system, and WMI Windows Management Instrumentations is all about configuring the configuration, or not configuring, to get the information of the configuration of the computers, which is actually hardware as well as software configuration. So not only does it, suppose you run a WMI script and there are 500 computers, so you just want to know how many drives are there and how many processors are there, right? And what type of processor is there. So you can just know all this through WMI scripting. And through VB you can create WMI scripts, but there are special codes for that WMI. And also you can make changes after doing a enumeration. Enumeration just means search. So then you can make some changes on the basis of WMI to the hardware as well as software configuration, right? But mainly it is used for enumeration. Oh, what object is there? Or what is the configuration of this computer? What is the configuration of that computer? What is the use here of WMI? The use of WMI here is if you want to implement a policy on the basis of, suppose whichever computer has 64-bit Windows, implement this policy on that, whatever policy you want to implement. If you have a computer that is 32 GB RAM and i7 processor and also whatever other configuration or 500 GB hard disk, first WMI will enumerate that. Oh yeah, there are out of 500 there are 200 computers that are the same configuration. Okay, as soon as it finds it, it implements whatever policy you want to implement on that. Okay, install MS Office 64-bit on that. So it's going to do two things. Not only it's going to first find out hardware wise, configuration wise, what is the configuration, and then you can implement the policy. We're going to be implementing or installing a software now, so over the GPU, so it can enumerate that first, and then on the basis of that information implement a policy as well, right? Now for that we need a script, which I will send you a full lab and you can do it at home. Thank you very much. Okay, next topic is okay, any questions? So now in 2 classes I tried to do that. There were so many questions, so many errors. Then I said, okay, I have a document that I'm going to send you, and just good luck, do that yourself. And so WMI, the purpose, we need to understand the purpose, that it will enumerate the group. Through WMI you can enumerate or get information about the configurations of the computers or laptops, and then implement a policy according to that configuration information that you got. So that's all about WMI, right? Yeah. In that, wherever you implement this WMI filtering, on the OU level, on the domain level, so wherever you attach that, it's going to implement under those, that how many computers are there, it will just go through that, right? So okay, this is this is a lab that is much tricky, and we need a script for that. So always I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send that lab there, and very few students actually told me the results because nobody was interested in implementing that. So we get the purpose, right? That's the only tricky one. Let's go ahead. So next topic is so I'm gonna send you that and let me know what happens, right? Now we can use PowerShell, yes, and this is not the only one way to go hardware wise. When we go to preferences, there is an item level targeting feature also introduced in 2012 that also targets hardware based, but WMI is much more flexible. You can use any combination and you can go in depth if you're a very good programmer. But PowerShell, yes, we can do the same. PowerShell also uses WMI to get information for the configuration of so PowerShell uses WMI as well. But you can go for whichever are i7 and which are laptop. Yeah, we can do the same for PowerShell as well. When you see, say, group policy, you want to implement group policy through PowerShell. That's what you're saying, right? Yeah, there are PowerShell commands for the group policy as well. Yeah. So, okay, guys, let's just try to understand some more features here. Starter GPU. What is starter GPU? It's a GPU that starts. No. Okay, starter GPU is if the company policy says, whenever you create a new GPU, suppose accounts department asks, hey, can you implement block Internet Explorer feature GPU for us? And so there is one requirement from accounts department. The second requirement is from management department. Okay, can you block run from running? So when the students go run, they can actually put some exe files there or .com files there, and it is not .com. Yeah, .exe and .com files. So .batch files, you can run that and execute in commands. So management department says block run, and accounts department says block Internet Explorer Internet option feature. So now, okay, like go ahead, buddy. Okay. No, but so block, it does not block the whole application. It cannot block the whole application. On Yahoo, the emails, you're saying? Email send and receive blocking, you can block the components. only, but not the actual, sending. You can block the Outlook from opening. If you cannot open the Outlook, you cannot send email, but you cannot actually block emails from GroupPolicy. Right? So guys, so what happens? There are examples. One is management department says any request, and second is accounts department says any request. But the company says before you implement any request, before you create a GPO for accounts and management, before doing that, those 3 or 5 policies that we discussed and then we implemented, those 5, suppose the company discussed that, okay, block this. So whenever you create any GPO, those 3, suppose there are 3 company policies, must be first implemented on that GPO, then the accounts department request or the management department's request can be implemented. So again, if the company wants to implement certain policies on every GPO, so whenever you as a system administrator create a new GPO, those company policies first must be implemented, then look for the accounts department and management departments, whatever request was there. So let's see how it works, and then I'm going to repeat the concept again. So if everyone on start a GPO, if you click this button, there are some sample policies already there, but let's just create our own new policy. So I am right clicking anywhere here on the white area. Everyone there? When you click new, now this is, we can say company policy. Okay, suppose there are random 3 policies for now, but normally when companies, 3 policies must be implemented. So we create a starter GPO called company policy. In the comments we put 3 policies. If I was in a production environment, I would just go for exact what policies, what blockades, what exact things we are doing inside the group policy. I would have mentioned the whole thing in comments, just to, as soon as I double click that policy to implement it, I would know right away where I went and what I implemented, right? So press OK. So everyone wrote that? Now, okay, everyone did that, right? So company policy we created, it does not do anything right now. So double click that. Okay, not double click. Right click and edit. Company policy, right click and edit. Now, okay, that's first of all, it has very few folders. Second thing, we can randomly go and select any of the 3 policies from anywhere else. So let's go to control panel. In user configuration, we're not going to test these policies that they're implemented or not. We're just saying that how starter GPO works, right? So on the control panel, do you see 4 policies here on the right side? Yeah. Oh yeah. So so let's just implement 3 policies. Enable list of disallowed control panel items. Oh, serious? Oh, let's not go there because we need the proper code there. So is it gonna let us enable without clicking this? Oh, okay, guys, cancel out. Okay, any other? I'm going for the second one. 3 random enable. Okay, that's good. Always open all control. I just enable that. This one. One starts with always, then the prohibit access to control panel PC settings. Double click that. Does it ask more? No, nothing. So second this, I'm just going random, right? Because I want to show to see how starter GPO works. So third is show only specified control panels. Oh, do we have to specify? Oh, guys. Okay, these 2. Always open and prohibit, right? Okay, once you implement that, close the editor. Oops. Yeah, we okay, here. This one. So enable in policies. Are you on control panel? Always open all control panel items. Yep. Did you go there? Did you see those? Yeah. One is always open. Second is prohibit access. Only 2 policies we enabled, right? No, you already enabled that, right? Yeah. So it's okay. No, somebody else was asking that. Okay, so once it is enabled, what is the use of starter GPU? That's what I want to explain here. Now, this is what we came for, you know, like when you go for company, you're a system administrator there, and company says, okay, let's just first implement that, discuss that, and then implement a bunch of policies there. So maybe there are 5, maybe there are 10 policies there. Suppose the non-technical seniors say, okay, these are the list of 10 policies that my friend who is from Microsoft and his friend's friend actually implemented that and he forwarded that or whatever. But that non-technical guy gives you those list of 10 policies, right? Now, is that a good idea to implement more and more policies? Why it's not a good idea? Because there are 10 policies, suppose. So what? Suppose the company seniors who are paying our checks, they say, okay, implement the 10 policies. You would say something to tell them, no, I cannot do that because, or we should not do that because. No, there's a technical reason for not implementing 10 or 15 policies or more even.
You could do a policy that really screws up something.
No, suppose we tested that. Okay, we should not implement 15 policies because, come on, that's easy.
Slow down.
Yes, it's gonna slow down. You were saying? No, we tested that.
Network shutdown.
Slow down. How? How slow down? When, if there are user policies and there are 15 user policies, so when the user logs in, when the user is logging in, the policy has to implement at that time. So go ahead, have a, put your username password and go for Tim Hortons. Go in the long line. When you come back from Tim Hortons and it's still 14th policy and seriously it's still logging in, and 15th policy, thank God I'm logged in now. So the more policies, the longer it will take to log in. If it is for computers, longer it will take to start the machine. So you can implement some policies on one OU, some policies on the second OU, third OU, but still, use it when really it's needed. Not like, okay, this also, let's check that too. Oh, like that, enable, okay. Now the user is taking like so much long time to even log in. Okay, so suppose the companies go through this. Now what we're going to do, we're going to create a new policy here, group policy objects. Let's go there and right click another policy here. So right click again on group policy objects, everyone there, and new, right? New, and then just go for accounts policy. So it's accounts policy, but when we are implementing the accounts policy, do you see a drop down here, source starter GPO? Do you see company policy there? Suppose we click that company policy. What did we just do? What actually happens in the background? Two policies will be copied automatically to the newly created GPO, which is accounts policy, right? This means that the company policy must have to be first implemented on any new GPO, and you haven't even touched that GPO yet. For accounts department, that GPO was supposed to, we were supposed to block something, right? For accounts department. Before that, company policy has to be added before that, right? So that's what the starter GPO actually does. So whatever policy is in the company policy, it's supposed to get copied to this newly created GPO. So press OK and test it. Not test the policy, but is it there or not? So accounts policy has been created. We haven't gone inside to configure anything in the accounts policy GPO, right? But if you see, click accounts policy and click settings, do you see these? Administrative templates, control panel. Those two policies can be seen now in the accounts policy while we haven't even gone inside the accounts policy yet. So starter GPO's only purpose is, anyone can tell me in one liner, what is the purpose of starter GPO? Template. Whatever's implemented there will automatically get implemented to the newly created policy without even touching that policy. Now we're gonna go for the accounts department requirements for the policy, right? So starter GPU just implements group policy as a template. Okay, everyone understands that? Yes. And one more. Okay, then I'm just going for the most critical task, because group policy, there are books written on that. There's a huge amount of stuff. Then let's just quickly implement or install software through group policy, right? So for that, everyone has no. Do you have MSI software? So I'm just gonna quickly email you the link, and you can just quickly download the. It's one is Google Chrome, one is Dropbox.
You're gonna put it on the, or you email for it?
Yeah, I can email, or I'll just put it on the link to download there on.
Dropbox?
Yeah. So, okay, guys, everyone on the notepad. So let's go to that. Let's not change anything there, because then I'll have to waste time opening the email. Notepad. Cohort 9. Everyone there on the Cohort 9 notepad? Cohort 9. Cohort. Okay, so Foxit Reader is one. So please just download it quickly. I hope it doesn't take a lot of time. This is the Dropbox link for that. Copy that. Then we're going for, I'm just gonna put another link there. Google Chrome, MSI. These are same software I deploy in SCCM as well. So then the second link is this. We have to exactly download in the C drive, of DC1. Yep, copy it over, exactly, in the documents. Or so I'm going to tell you. Okay, let me just download first. Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. Copy link.
Well, it's asking for mail.
What? No. Do you see continue?
Oh, no, it is. Okay.
Okay, so all the three links are there, guys? Yes. Okay, thank you. Boom. So I'm just gonna go there to that software, and you can follow these each steps. So the first is MSI. There you go. So Google Chrome here, copy, and go to the DC1, and go to File Explorer or yellow folder, C drive. I'm just gonna create a new folder called software. Software inside the C drive. Everyone there? So double click that C drive software folder, paste the Google Chrome there. It's there now. Then I go for the second one on my host machine, and then I'm gonna just copy Foxit Reader like these.
How come I have my drive, but paste into it?
Foxconn is server key.
Server
No.
1 or server 2?
So one, DC1 actually, the domain controller, right? Domain controller, and software folder create in the C drive of DC1. So software folder I've created inside the C drive of DC1, and I'm copying or pasting the second one now. Foxit Reader is also there. Is it there for everyone? Yeah. Okay. So so guys, everyone, Foxit Reader and Google Chrome is there. Yes, yes, and yes. So let's go ahead. Except for Kevin, everyone has it, right?
I don't know, for some reason I let me paste it there.
So no, you cannot paste it.
No.
Seriously, man.
And I have my
You left. No. Samosa factory address we have now. So don't refer Timbits anymore. Yes, sir. I just wanted to walk. Yeah, don't bring any lunch. So, Mehboob
Yes.
and Kevin. You know,
Invitation is
address is this. This is the address. 1850 Albion Road. Woohoo! Okay. Yeah, address. Somebody took a. Nobody took
I
a
don't
picture
know
of the address.
where is the place. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, you know the address?
Okay. It makes you comfortable for you.
Okay, guys. So, resuming now, and so first of all, we create a policy, and let's just create it on the domain level, which is a very okay. No, let's just create it on accounts department level, OU level. So right click the accounts department and create a new policy here. Can we create a new policy? Create a GPO in this domain and link it here, right? Okay, okay, let's do the best practice. Group policy objects, right click here, new. Group policy objects, right click, new, everyone there? New, and then go for software deployment. We're not attaching starter GPU here, so it's okay. Software deployment is created inside the group policy objects. Then we link it to the accounts department. So right click the accounts department and go for link an existing GPU. Everyone sees the software deployment? Everyone? Every two?
So this is in select GPU, this is in properties of account department?
Yeah, no, so it's here, see this? Right click and link an existing GPU. Right? Kevin? There? Okay. Link an existing GPU and then software deployment. Once we copy or once we link that, it looks like this. So this means it's implemented on the parent OU, which is accounts department. It will be implemented on user 1 and user 2, which is in the child OU. Right, everyone?
Okay. So which did we select, you can select GPU?
Sorry?
Just before this right click on the link and then select GPU, which is
Software did you create a GPU called software deployment? Software deployment, no? Hey, did you create inside the group policy objects any GPU? Come on, Sir Rajan. The whole Humber is looking at you. Samosa! Okay. Within next 1 minute, if you did not fix this,
I want to say
software deploy, software that policy.
no, did you create a software deployment policy?
No, sir. I
Oh.
have to create, sir.
Okay.
9.
8 times 6 by 4 2. Done. Okay. So
New and then create software development.
yeah, so right like this, go to group policy objects and click new.
Yeah, software.
Software deployment here. Oh wow, he's fast, man.
Rajan guys, some-
He's taking it seriously. He's gonna make more mistakes and then
Then source starter GPU no.
no. Press OK and then go for accounts department and link an existing GPU, right? Yeah. So now in nightmare also, samosa, samosa. Oh, come on. You gotta fix that, Colonel. Okay, so software deployment here.
One packet is confirmed.
One, yeah. And it was a 50.
I have my Z drive.
No, go for USB and try to put that there inside, and it will detect it inside the machine. And okay, guys. So software deployment, everyone there. Let's go to edit the software deployment policy. Edit, and then go for user configuration, policies, and software settings. User configuration, policies, like this, and software settings, and expand that like these. So this is the path: user configuration, policy, software settings. Everyone there? Yeah. Okay. So software installation, right click, and first we go here, properties. Look at the board, everyone. So software installation, right click and properties. Everyone, every two there? Yeah. Okay, yes, everyone except for, hey, Sir Rajan is there, right? Okay, so that's good. No, he saw the big box. You know, if look at the size of the box, man. No, already, come on. We are so thankful that you brought that, and with the core of our heart. That's why you were knighted today as well, sir. Right? So let's just go for properties here. Everyone there? Okay. Here we need to tell the software deployment that where on the network are those software. So we copied those software in the C drive of domain controller, but we did not share that drive, that folder, software folder, right? Okay, so keep this window open and go to the C drive. Okay, C drive. Did everyone create a folder called software? Right click the software folder and share with specific people, and as we know, very specific, everyone. So click add. You must click add, right? Sir Rajan, where are you? Okay, so everyone, and read and write. Let's make it read and write. Okay, read, doesn't matter. So whatever. So as long as it's added, everyone, folder is added for everyone. Share, done. Right? Share and done. That's it. So right click, software, share with specific people, share and done. Right? So once it is done, let's check if it is available as a shared folder. So click here on top of this. \/ means go to the network and go to DC1. Well, it's a shared folder. We can check from anywhere. We can check from other server as well. Okay, it's a DC1 or what? If I go to command prompt and there's a command called host name. Oh, server. In my case, it is server 1. Okay. If I put a command like host name, it gives me the name of my computer. In my case, server 1. In your case, maybe it's DC1. So go for your, right? So I'll just come back here, \/ In my case, it's server 1. I think in your case, it's DC1, right? So server 1 \/ As soon as I do \/ it starts showing me the shared folders of this machine, right? Yeah. So the software folder, everyone can access that? Yeah. Before the \/ this one? Okay. Oh, that group policy management console. Okay. So once it is shared, guys, you need to copy this. So select it and copy, because group policy management need to know where is the shared folder. So everyone copied it, and go minimize and default package location, right click and paste here. So it should look like this for everyone. The software installation properties that we opened, is it looking like the same? All right. So is it safe for everyone? Yeah. Okay. Apply and okay. Everyone did that? Apply okay. So now we are ready to deploy. So how do we do that? Right click installation, software installation, and click new package like this. Right click software installation, click new package. Everyone there? So now there's that pop-up. Okay, this window, not pop-up. The window opens. Let's select Google Chrome. So Google Chrome Enterprise Edition. I had to search the MSI version. That's how we're going. So double click that. Now everyone sees this, either publish or assign. So what is the difference between publish and assign? There are two ways we can install a software. Man, You need to have 2 more samosas. Then it will work. Oh, okay. So no, sometimes it happens to me too. No, I cannot.
No, but it's a pain in the ass because then you miss out, right? You can't call it.
No, whenever you come back, we're gonna tell you what to do. Don't worry.
I want to throw it out the window.
Where? Oh, okay. Nah, come on. It's computers, man. It's okay.
I know, but I hate when it does that.
Yeah,
Especially
it
if you
is.
know something, right?
Yeah. Okay, guys, but yeah, we're trying to understand the concepts, right? Which is also you're listening. Right? Oh, Kaira. Okay.
Just go ahead.
Okay. So publish. No, when you come back, I'll help you. Don't worry, man. So publish is optional installation of software, and assign is forceful installation of software. So we're gonna try both. Publish. Let's go for publish, which is the optional, which means what?
I can deny. User can deny.
Not deny.
I mean, okay.
The link will be in every user's control panel. If you want, go there, double click it. If you don't want, don't touch it, right? So publish, everyone there, press OK. Now one day it's gonna appear here. So keep right clicking it, refresh, yeah, right click and publish. Optional. So guys, anyone it appeared, right click, refresh, 5th, 6th, right click, refresh, 7th. No, one day it appears. One day, Monday, Sunday. No, not. It does not appear right away. Yeah. Now it appears. Yay! See, it appears, but it takes a little time. So I chose publish, right? So everyone chose publish. Okay. Google Chrome. So now it is there. Refresh it, and that's it. Let's close it. This is an editor, right? So close it, and gp update /force. I hope that was not closed before. The command prompt. And then we need, because it's a user policy, we're gonna log off and log in from any one of those users. User 1 or 2, doesn't matter, right? Because we implemented this policy on the parent OU, accounts department. So it will implement on both users, right? Okay, so let's go ahead, Windows 2012 R2, server 2, and go for sign out. And well, I logged in from user 2, right? So no, so in order to log in, we have to go to server 2. Yeah, in second server we can log in from user 2 or user 1, doesn't matter, right? So user 2 I'm logging in from. So when we log in now, during login the policy got implemented, but where is Google Chrome? It was an optional deployment, right? So the link is somewhere in the control panel. Let's go there. So let's just open the control panel. So on the Windows icon, right click and go to control panel. So once we go to control panel, we go to programs, then programs and features. Everyone there? Okay, and once we go into the programs and features, then there is install a program from the network here on the left side. So do we see Google Chrome? No? No, if the policy implemented, then it should be there. Then restart or log off, log in again. Oh, okay. So guys, Google Chrome is there, right? Some software require that the user the user who got that software should be part of the local administrators group or should have the powers to install, because some software makes changes in depth. Well, registry changes, some of those which require higher privileges. This software does not. Google Chrome, right? Browser. It does not need privileges. It's not gonna pop up Windows install. So if you double click now, let's double click it. So this was optional software, right? So double click that. As a end user which has no privileges whatsoever, right? User 1 we created, user 2 has no privileges right now. So if you install that, it's gonna install perfectly. Perfectly. So well, it's gonna install. Let's leave it to installing. If there was any error, we're gonna come back here to login again for the next software. So then we're gonna know if it stopped here, right? So let's keep it installing and go for server 1 again. So now we're going to do the assigned deployment, which is forceful deployment. The user has no choice and it has to deploy, right? There are some critical software that we don't want it to be optional. So again, this software deployment, and on the settings, refresh this. Yeah, it should be showing now that we published already to the user, right? So when you go to software deployment and settings, it should show this, right? No, so software deployment was a group policy that we created and linked it to accounts department. So no, the link file, right? So, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're there. Okay, so right click, Kevin. So did you create a new policy called software deployment?
No, I'm not using that.
Okay, so just right click on accounts department like this and create GPO, click, and then create software deployment, right? Yeah. Press OK. But no starter GPO, right?
No starter?
No. No. Okay. Then right click and click edit. Then user configuration and policies. And then go for software settings. Do you see software installation? Right click, properties. So did you create that software shared folder?
No.
Okay. So you must have this path. // server 1 / software, right? That's where we put the MSI software. Once you did that, press OK. You did that? Press OK. Apply. Yeah. So now see this. Right click again. Huh? Okay. If the virtual machine and host computer has network connectivity, only then, yeah. If / and the virtual machine IP, it opens virtual machine shared folders, host machine shared folders from virtual machine, then only you can do that. Normally it requires a network access wherever you want to, but not the attached drive. Network access has to be there. Yeah, a network. So yeah, new package and publish. Google Chrome. Okay. Yeah, open. No, open. Did you share that folder? No, you did not, I think. So share that folder and then come back here and do the package, right? So software and share, right click, guys. So the next, this one is also the same steps. So new and package, everyone there. The only thing we need to do is, so guys, everyone, new package, Foxit Reader. Do we all have Foxit Reader? Okay, or any other software, right? Other than Google Chrome. Don't go for Google Chrome now. Because it's already installed, we won't know that, right? So Foxit Reader, double click that. And this time we are going for assign, which is a forceful installation, right?
So do I take publish design or
Publish. Press OK. Now, oh, it came right away. So, well, it takes time, but it's good. So in command prompt, you know what to do, and go and check in control panel. So everyone selected assign, press OK, and then it's gonna come back one day here, or Monday or Sunday, and refresh a couple of million times here. Oh, seriously? Yeah. So go to server 2, log off from whichever user and log in from user 2. Yep. Okay guys, did it appear there? Refresh.
My computer it comes right away.
Huh?
For the reason I will explain.
Right away? It's not coming. What?
Hyper-V is not working.
It's hyper. Oh, it's there. Okay. So if assigned is showing, let's go. It's showing for me now. Is it showing for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, just refresh and go for update. GP updates are force. Enter. Yeah. Okay. Go to control panel. Yep. And then programs and features. So GP updates are force is done. Guys, don't go and check right now. If you have already implemented the Foxit Reader as a force deployment, again go to Foxit Reader and right click. Okay, if it is double click, if it's installing, then let's go back and publish the Foxit Reader now. So if you're on Foxit Reader, go to properties now. Don't go first and check. Yeah, Foxit Reader, you're there. Assign. Okay. Oh, wow, it's coming again. In seconds. Okay, Kevin. No. First right click it. Now you're there. You're with us now. So right click it. Foxit Reader properties. Now, guys, in properties, go to deployment and go to install this application at logon. Now this is going to forcefully install this application, and the message will come as well to the user that sit back and enjoy the show, and we are installing this and you can't do anything. Na. You can do the na as well. So install this application at logon. Everyone selected that? That's it. Apply. Okay. Now we go for GP update /force and yeah, we have to sign out from there. So once it is done and you have done that option as well, Foxit Reader, go for second server, sign out and sign in again, and during the sign in it's gonna show you sign out, and now it's user 2 or user 1, it just shows there, right? Oh, so user 2, where's the password? Yeah. So see this installing managed software Foxit Reader, right? It is happening to everyone? All right. So this is how we install software, assign and publish, right? So let's go ahead and go for, okay, let's close the editor. We're done. Whoever logs in at whatever time, it's gonna install. So okay guys, so let's just go ahead and use our time to cover all the other labs. So there is that group policy modeling and results. Since we are all good looking, so we don't need modeling here. Okay, anyway, just kidding. So group policy modeling wizard. So modeling is it's like how will it look like, how will the combination of group policies will look like when we implement that, when we go through and select, okay, we're gonna select this policy on this OU with these computers, with these users. In the end, how does it look like? But it will still not implement anything. It will just show how does it look like when we go through everything. So it's just giving us a model of something. It has nothing to do with implementation, although it's going to use the actual objects that we have, and we're going to attach it to the actual OU. And if those policies already were blocking something, they are attaching in the modeling to the actual OUs and users, but still it will be just a model. It will not implement anything, right? So let's just click the group policy modeling wizard here. Next. So it says which domain. We just have one domain, so and any available domain controller. Yeah, it's okay. So we're just selecting a domain and a domain controller. Next. Then we go for, yep, you're there. Okay. So and then we go for either a user information or a computer information, but we are going for the actual users. So if we click browse for the first one, well, and then we can go for accounts department, because we have the most amount of users, 2. Okay, so press OK, and then next. Then is it a slow network? Maybe it's a branch on which we are trying to see and implement some policies.
Can we apply for both user and computer application?
Yeah, actually we can.
So if we're going for the users, why did you pick the domain?
OU, right? So we can implement it on both as well, but ultimately we are not implementing anything. We are just looking at the model of that, right? So we can add anything here, and at the end it's gonna check that. So yeah.
Or only server 2 and user 1 like that?
Yeah, or what here we implemented the whole domain, right? We selected the whole domain. So whatever is under whichever users are under the domain and whichever computers are under the domain, right? So but okay, when I came back, it just removed that setting again. So I'm just gonna put that computers here. So browse and net plus and computers for the computers container. Next.
Oh, so we want to do that.
Yeah, I just want to check. I thought it was not. It's going to support any one at the same time, but then you pointed out that let's check. So thank you. Okay, next. Slow network or loopback processing, or on the same server on the same network. So we're gonna just select slow network here. Suppose it's across the branch and across the site. We really need to do after this sites and services. Very, very, very important. So defaults for site name here. So slow network, and it's just a model. So let's just go ahead. Next. How many users, which users are you implementing it on? Authenticated user means all the Active Directory users, right? Or you can add any of the users here just to show the bosses, okay, this group and that group we are implementing. So next. Security groups, and before it was security user selected. Oh, sorry, it's user security groups, and then computer security groups as well, right? So if you want to add specific computers. Next, WMI filters for users. If you're running any script that gathers specific information about users, maybe it's account users with that department and users with that profile. So if a script was there, then we could have added that script, right? So next, and WMI filters for computers, if it's that type of computer, maybe 64-bit with i7 processor. So if that script was there, we could have put that. Next, and there you go, yay. Next, and finish. Woohoo! And what we achieved here.
Yellow bar.
Sorry?
Yellow color.
We achieved a yellow color, and details. If we go to details, then we can see that what have we implemented, and here's the big map that, oh, okay, so on computer configuration you went for settings, and what are the policies that we can touch, and what are the policies that do get implemented. But other than that, it's just showing what areas are implemented or not, and who they are implemented. Other than that, it is doing nothing. It's a simulator. It's a simulation of, oh, that's how we implement policies on current users and users and computers and domains and slow links with WMI filters, right? So this is a map and nobody's excited, so let's go ahead. So
What is the purpose of it?
purpose of that is to show the map that under user details, if you implement that, that's where the group policies are standing, and see our original one and this one. If we remove this policy and here we implement on component status that policy instead of this general, so we can just plan it. But other than this, it's just a model of how in the end group policy will look like here on that page. Other than that, I never used that in production environment. I never had to, nor my other friends in other companies. So it's just there for very high level look at, it's better to right click and delete. Oh. So but it just shows how it's implemented, and all the summary as well, and how those exclamation mark look like, when you go behind a yellow color. Oh, okay. So group policy results, this is very important. GP results, okay. Do anyone remember a command for the group policy? If you want to find out for a client computer what policies are implemented on that client computer. So sometimes it happens that client computer is not connecting, or it's giving some issues, and you try to find out first which group policy is implemented on this particular client. So if we go to server 2, for example, user 1, will it let us implement? Okay, so open a command prompt on server 2. If you go for admin, we have to put a password, right? Like this, because it's a user 1. So net plus admin. I just went for admin privileges, but because I thought if I put gp result /h there. So command prompt is open for everyone. So gp result, first I will just press enter, so to check, and then we go for gp result /h and gp report.html. So if we go for this one, so I'll mark it, this one, gp result space /h and space gp report.html. So it's going to create a HTML page with all the reports, right? So gp result /h gp report.html. Well, I didn't try that. Enter. The user net plus domain net plus admin does not have RSOP data. Okay, RSOP, resultant set of policies. Unable to generate RSOP data in logging mode, likely caused by group policy user. Group policy has never successfully processed for the computer user. Seriously, guys, sign out and sign in. I'll just sign out and sign in from. Sorry. Yeah, it did give you a policy. No, because in net plus admin mode, because it was a user mode, it still did not work. So I'm just logging in from net plus admin itself. So then it should be working. Net plus admin. Oh yeah, Humber admin. Why do I always mention that? Well, yeah, my domain is right now this one. So if you go for Humber admin and go for still command prompt admin, so first I'll just go for RSOP, resultant set of policies. RSOP, guys, this one, RSOP. Once you open the command prompt as administrator, now after doing the RSOP, when you minimize, in the background this opened, resultant set of policy, right? So if we go to whatever policy was implemented or is implemented on that, does it show any? So if we go to Windows settings, we go to these areas, public key policies, there are some policies enforced here. Yeah. So it is, but I wanted to know what are the policies implemented here, right? So first RSOP just sends us some set of group policies that are affecting this machine, but I didn't want you to see this actually. So minimize this and again quickly go for what I was doing for GP result. So GP result /h GP report, yeah, .html.
Can't go out of this now, right? You have to wait, right?
Yeah, it's working something and then close it. Yeah, it's minimized, or at least enter. Now it is generating a report. GP result /h GP report.html. This is the command actual. I'm highlighting it now. GP result space /h capital H GP report.html. Everyone did that? Inside the Humber admin account, right? So when you do that, what happens? See, nothing happens. What? Okay. Hey, where's that data? The HTML is supposed to open. Seriously, it's not opening. It didn't open for everyone? Oh, I mean anyone, not everyone. So if I go for HTML only, okay, well, there's another way. There is. It should be giving a policy. Enter. What is /r? Displays RSOP summary data. Okay, RSOP summary data. So if we go for GP result /r, okay, it does give this information. So if I go up a little, so what I did was GP result /r, like this. GP result /r. Everyone did that? Yes. Okay. So then we go for it's giving all the data. RSOP data for network logging mode is member server. Yes, it's a member server, and this is our path. Computer settings. So these are the computer settings that are default domain policies implemented and local group policies implemented. The computer is part of the following security groups. Yeah. User settings. Then, and in user settings, everyone was able to open that. Local policies not applied. Applied group policy. Oh, we did not say anything here. Actually, we did not apply anything as well. So guys, what I wanted to say here was GP result /r shows what are the policies that have been implemented on a particular machine. But if we go to the server side, so suppose if you implemented that and there were a couple of computer settings and user setting policies, it should show under those. So just keep it as a command. Remember that as a command on when you're troubleshooting some specific PC which desktop support is not able to do, and they call you. So you would first rule out that this whatever problem is going on, that problem is because of some group policy that you recently implemented, right? So if we go back to the server side here, we can there is a group policy results here as well. If we right click the group policy results, there is a
Server 1?
Yep. So let's go to server 1 in the group policy console. So there's a group policy results here. Then click that. Next. This computer, yeah, okay. Next. Current user is NetPlus admin, Humber admin. Yes. I mean, I'm just checking the default options here, right? And then next. And finish. So what is it doing? It's still setting, it's still giving us what are the results of whatever group policies are available here. It's just a summary again. So if we go, a fast link was detected, no errors were detected, user policy. If we go for more information here, then it creates that report for what is currently being implemented. Oh, it's going for Microsoft link. Okay, so forget that. So okay, this is a result, group policy results. It's just showing what is implemented right now currently on this. If we had huge amount of policies implemented. We wanted to trace down where the policies, which policies were implemented. It just shows the same modeling type of group policy modeling type of format, but this is group policy GP result, or what current group policies are implemented on this particular computer, right? So it's all about just a collection of or a big on from 5,000 kilometers up, or kilometers, so meters up view of group policy of on this particular computer. Yay, we're so excited. And okay, so let's go for Active Directory sites and services. There's the next topic, but any questions here? Okay, we need a break, huh? Oh, okay.
I think you went too fast over the
Last one was
No, I think
We can take
you put it right to sleep. I think.
another
Okay.
machine group policy result from here also, right?
yeah, because we could go remote computer as well.
But that computer is cracked or something happened, then how we can get that information?
Or if that computer is not connecting for some reason over the network, while it is connected physically, then we can just locally run the policy there as well. If over the network it is accessible only, then we can know from here, right? Okay guys, so let's go for Active Directory sites and services, which is a very important topic. Very. So I am closing the group policy management. Everyone there? Okay, so group policy, okay, Active Directory sites and services. I will not take you for long on those boring slides, so I'll keep it a little slow here and go for the most critical points. So which one is the latest one? Yeah, this is one. Okay.
Did you get all your information from Microsoft?
Yeah,
As a teacher, do you get it like free, or do you have special?
I used to have. So if you're an MCT, so it's yearly you have to pay $800 for them.
Certified trainer?
Yeah, so for 1 year you become MCT. So for that year you pay $800. So then the whole material is accessible. So I was MCT last year. I have to still upgrade for this year whenever I want to spend $800. So okay, so
Microsoft?
for Microsoft,
Doesn't the college where you
good product. Okay, huh?
Doesn't the college where you work for pay that for you?
Nothing's free in Canada. Come on.
They should.
Well, they should do a lot of other things. You're right about that.
Some sort of perk for that.
Yeah, I'll forward that to them. But I know what they will do. They will simply just not answer. Okay, so no, it's not like that. It's always your pocket money. So okay guys, so Active Directory sites and services. First of all, what are ADDS partitions? So forest wide, so there are 4 partitions inside Active Directory, right? Why did we even partition Active Directory? Anyone knows the reason? Why Active Directory is partitioned?
Security?
Nope. There are 4 portions of Active Directory because, yeah, you're correct, exactly. Anyone else? Yeah, you're also correct. So what we're doing here is, or what are we looking here for is, in context of replication. So what happens is, if you have 100 branches, you have 100 domains. Suppose in each branch you put a child domain there. So if the replication starts happening for the whole Active Directory every 3 hours across the sites, hey cute, okay, so yeah, oh, yeah, I just connected my camera, and every time in a every third or second class in the video it's like okay, so yeah, when we go for Active Directory partition, if the whole of the Active Directory gets replicated every 3 hours, that's not good. That takes away the bandwidth, the precious bandwidth that is required between the branches for, suppose it's a hospital, so hospital software are also upgrading each other. Global catalog server is upgrading and partial information of all the objects in the forest, right? So this means that across the forest, if somebody is searching, the global catalog has to be updated already. The main purpose of partitioning is to save bandwidth. Now, how do we save bandwidth by partitioning? Can anyone grab the point from here? Well, from partitioning, we save bandwidth. I say that. How?
I think in that case, the critical information will be replicated.
That's it. Whichever partition received a change will send its replication to that particular partition in the next domain controller's Active Directory area. So if the change was happened on domain partition, what is domain partition? Day-to-day task we're doing. 200 users who created. Only 200 users should be replicated. And if the schema partition did not do anything, its information should not be replicated, just sitting there and you're replicating or creating more traffic there. Instead, whatever modification in whichever partition happened. Because in large companies, if there are 100,000 users, 200,000 users, and that's not users only, then there are computers, then there are servers, there are printers, and there are hundreds of or thousands of groups and organizational units, right? So this means the objects are in millions. So that when million objects gets replicated, that's gonna really take down the whole network. That's why partitions are there. So whichever partition received an update, if it's a configuration partition, so we can see that configuration partition forest-wide information about the Active Directory structure only, which is if you have 100 branches, so it's the name of all those, if you created a new branch, so only that information from the configuration partition will replicate to all the other Active Directory, right? Suppose you created 2 users here in domain partition and you added a new branch here. Only these 2 partitions will be sending information across the forest to everyone. So if you created, if you added an application here, so can you give me an example of application partition? What kind of information an application partition should have inside Active Directory? Any example you've already heard of? That application partition already, as soon as we installed the first day an Active Directory, there was one application whose information was inside the application partition. On the day 1, there was an application partition, means some application that is not related, this is an independent separate application. It's not part of Active Directory, right? It's a separate application that really gets integrated with Active Directory so much that its information is actually present in application partition of the Active Directory. Both examples are correct. DNS, yes. DNS is an application which gets integrated right away. An Exchange server integrates right away in the application partition. You will find after installation of Exchange server as well some information about the Exchange server, and application partitions replicate whenever they have changes, right? But only then they will replicate. So if you install Exchange server in root domain, there is toronto.humber.local and there's guelph.humber.local. They will only receive information about the application partition, right? The replication only according to the modifications in the partition. There's a lot of shuns here, right? So the thing is, we save bandwidth by not replicating the whole Active Directory. Instead, wherever the changes occur, just that portion replicates to the next domain controller's Active Directories, that partition, right? So only partition to partition replication if modification was there. See, so many shuns. Okay, so why partitions are there? So we could save bandwidth by just replicating what is required and not everything, right? Wrong? Right? Okay, so let's go ahead, and now there are huge amount of slides here that we can cover, but at the end of the 5th or 6th slide, I think most of us will be snoring. So can we try? That's a good one. So the slides Microsoft gave us is like, whoa. So I'm gonna still go for the most critical points that you must not skip. But before that, let's go to our domain controller and Magnifico. So Active Directory sites and services, let's open that. We haven't touched that yet, right? We have opened Active Directory users and computers. We have opened Active Directory domains and trusts. Anyone knows that we already used Active Directory domains and trusts for which lab? Forest Trust, right? Now sites and services is remaining, which is, so if we open sites and services, does it open the whole thing? Okay, yeah. We opened it to do two things till now. One is to rename the sites. The second was to, okay, this was renamed. So if you still see that it's default for site name, we're going to rename it to Toronto, right? Later. And the second thing we came here to do was, anyone remembers that too? Replication. Between who? Of course, domain controllers. What else? So, okay, so everyone has opened this. Let's create 6 sites, imaginary sites. We can even create imaginary domain controllers here as well. Strange. So I'm just going to create 6 sites here, but first let's just rename this one. So everyone there, if you already have it as Toronto, don't do that. If you don't have it, then go for right click and rename. So it's Toronto. And then we are just gonna quickly create a basic structure. Then we're gonna discuss some of the critical topics. So sites, right click, new site, right? And then go for New York and click default IP site link. We're going to talk about IP site link as well. Everyone did that? Yeah. So when you right click the site, this opens, just type New York and then click this default IP site link and press OK. And it says site New York has been created. To finish configuration, ensure that New York is linked to other sites with site links and as a pro. So we're gonna try to know what is site links. Add subnets for New York. So we're gonna try to know why we are putting subnets there, and Active Directory sites and services must know. So when you create a new branch, you must actually know that you must actually tell the Active Directory that what subnets are there, right? Install one or more of the domain controllers in New York or move existing DCs into the site. You will not see this message again. Da, 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 da. So until you create a new site, okay, press OK and New York site is created. So now in the Toronto site, if we expand, there are servers here, only one server. In New York site, the servers folder is there, but nothing inside, of course. So let's just create 4 more sites here. Right click. Huh? Why? Hamilton computer will crash? Oh. Okay. You're right. Milton is okay. Milton is allowed. No, if Sir Rajan approves that, then only. Okay. So, yeah. So new site here, and then go for, as we were cautioned. So let's just go for Milton. And yeah, Milton. And oh, there's a site called Rajan?
Yeah. You should name some sites.
Yeah, he's been knighted today, so in respect we can create a site as well. Okay, so one site is so default site for samosas? Oh, okay. Okay. So I was thinking samosas, right? Okay. So Milton default for site, press OK. Everyone, Milton. Then there was request for a dedication. So Rajan, and there is a new branch we opened by this name. Rajan Samosa. No, this is out of request. We already knighted, so now So let's just put the Rajan as well and press OK. This is another branch we opened. And 1, 2, 3, okay, 5. So there we're gonna open samosa factory as well. So new site here, and then go for the most easiest name, Mississauga. Seriously, why do?
Just remember MISSI is
See, that's it, man. It's just like Massachusetts.
It's like Mississippi.
Yeah, can you spell out?
MISSI is IPPI.
Mississippi. Wow. Hey, you said that. IPPI. Okay. Oh. You must have practiced that. Come on. Okay. So Mississauga. Who else is from Mississauga? Oh. Hmm? Hey, there are 2 guys here in Mississauga.
If you're from Mississauga, then
What is good about Mississauga?
Oh, Britannia and what? Oh.
You guys are neighbors.
Yeah, we are pretty well. Yeah.
God, this calls for samosas. We're so happy now. Okay.
Kevin, what is good in Mississauga that you can bring in?
So we are all, after seeing the table, we don't want to see it empty next week as well. So, okay. I'll be keeping track of what's going on.
I will show you that when it's science.
Yeah. Huh?
We'll send you a message and discuss this.
Roger. So, okay, we got so we got how many? 5? Okay, 5 branches. So let's go for 6th one as well. New. So we're just going for anything else that is. Okay, samosa branch. So samosa, and let's just go for this. Then default IC, default IP site link. So there's a branch now. We have all kinds of branches. This is a strange company we have. So it's not only cities, it's guys as well, and food as well, right? So okay, once this is done, the external structure has been created. Active Directory must be told what are the subnets that we have, all these branches have. So is it possible if we have an IP range 192.168.200.1 up to 192.168.200.254 in Toronto, and we can have the same range of the same company's branch somewhere else? We can have the same range for all the devices there as well. If you have 2 branches for the same company, can you give same IP range on this branch and same IP range on this branch? And when they connect,
Yes, by creating a different subnet.
different
The same IP range. IP range is the same, right?
IP range is the same.
192.168.1
1.2, yeah.
Subnet, if the subnet is different,
If subnet is not different, the 2 branches and same IP addresses, when over the site-to-site link or VPN link, when they are connected, there will be 200.1 here, 200.1 here as well.
creating 2 different VLAN.
So you have to have different subnets, right? We cannot have exact same ranges on both branches. So you have to create different subnets. That's we're going to tell Active Directory sites and services. So first of all, we get an idea, hey, Active Directory cannot just automatically search for topology. Oh, we created a new branch and we connected through site-to-site VPN. Now Active Directory should automatically discover the whole thing. No, that doesn't happen. As soon as you have a new branch, go for Active Directory sites and services and add it according to these steps. You have to tell manually Active Directory that we have a new branch with new domain controllers and everything is there now, right? So 6 branches suppose open, right? And servers are there. Now the first question comes here. It's actually a scenario. This server 1 here is in Toronto. Now second server was introduced, suppose. So if we go to servers here, right click, new server. So everyone go there. So servers under the Toronto, servers, new server. Everyone there? So if you do this, new server, then we just put server 10 here, suppose. Server 10, yeah, 2 we already have, I think. So Okay, Toronto 1. Toronto 1. Toronto 1. Press OK. Now we have a make-believe server here as well. But what happens is that if this server, so again, that rule of thumb, within the site, domain controllers talk to each other every 45 seconds. Between the sites, domain controllers talk to each other every 3 hours or 180 minutes, exactly. So now what happened here, the server was meant to be for New York branch, right? So the server was bought, Windows OS was installed, key was given, and then the server was sent to New York, and in New York it is connected now to the New York network data center, and then Active Directory IP address changed, Active Directory is installed, it's communicating, and that's it. See, but we did not change here anything. We did not change here anything. Now what is the big drawback you're seeing here? Physically, the server is in New York and it is connected now, and it's communicating.
It's under the wrong site.
So what is the big disadvantage here?
Yeah.
Here it will be shown that physically.
Yes, physically it's not in Toronto.
Bandwidth.
Yeah, how bandwidth?
Well,
It's not under the right
Because
site.
it's on the same slide.
Once you
Within
look at-
45 seconds it will communicate.
45 seconds. Physically it's not even there, but Active Directory thinks, oh, it is in Toronto still, so I'm gonna send every 45 seconds all the updates. So through WAN, exactly. So we must, as soon as the physical server changes, we must drag and put it in that branch where it went, right? So what I did is I just clicked it, dragged it to the server, or right click and move does the same thing as well. And then this happens, yes, if you move all the OUs implemented here will not be implemented. It's just saying that, press yes. So now when you move a server physically, you must move logically here as well, right? And we know now that domain controller, it will think it's in the same site, it's gonna send every 45-second that update, right? And that's gonna consume all the bandwidth because it's thinking it's the same site. So physically, if it's somewhere else, tell Active Directory and put that server there. Then now it knows, oh, I have to send it every 180 minutes now, and we can change that too. I have to send 180 minutes. So default option. So let's go ahead and tell Active Directory what are the subnets for these branches, right? So the subnet for Toronto. Now I'm gonna go to subnets here and right click, because we need to tell Active Directory what is the subnet of which branch. So everyone right click the subnet and click new subnet, right? When you click new subnet, this window opens. Now we know the subnet of Toronto anyway, 192.168.200.0, right? /24. So this is a subnet of the Toronto branch. Yes, sir. Everything okay, right? So we created 3 more branches. Oh, I think you created Samosa, right? So then we went for right click subnet, and that's the first one, right? So we need to give every branch subnet, which actually is configured there. We need to tell Active Directory about that, right? So /24, and then this is subnet of Milton or Mississauga or New York.
Toronto.
It's Toronto, exactly. So we go way down and select Toronto and press OK. So we have to select Toronto and you have to give the correct subnet here, right? So press OK. Everyone did that? Press OK. Now the subnet shows here. Now we can go again and right click the same subnet folder and go new. Click subnet. Everyone there? Click subnet, new subnet, or here new subnet as well. So when you click new subnet again, now we are going for imagination. So 192.168.201 the next subnet dot 0, and we go for whoever is on the top, pretending that's what the subnet is for Milton, right? So 201.0, right? That's the, oh sorry, yeah, I was just checking you guys. I knew that, but okay. So /24, thank you for this. Press OK.
Which one you want to choose?
With the top one, Milton. Otherwise, in production environment, we would be very careful with that. Wherever it is given, we will just give that. Here, we're just pretending. So press OK. Then next third subnet is, of course, 202. So we're gonna go for 192.168.202.0/24
Sorry.
and Mississauga. For? Oh yes, I should have copied that. So next, right click subnet. Rajan, which subnet you want? Oh, okay. So right clicks, new subnet, and then we go for the next logical available one, 203.
New York?
Yeah, dot 0/24 New York, and then it's Rajan's turn. Sir Rajan. So 192.168.204.0/24, and that's the Rajan branch. And then you're a celebrity now, man. Raj. So on YouTube it's like, who's Rajan? Who's Rajan? He's been knighted there in Humber. So it's Sir Rajan now.
He owns the Samosa factory.
And he owns the samosa factory. Oh, okay. Right. So right click, and last one is new subnet, and go for samosa itself. 192.168.205.0/24. Okay, where's samosa? Oh yeah, there. Press OK. Now we got subnets written there. Whatever subnet was there in those branches in production environment, we would just write it down and ask the network guys there to give us the detail of all the subnets. We need to add those because we're gonna be adding a domain controllers there. So we need to tell Active Directory all about this. Okay, and then there is now intersite. So subnets have been defined, the branches have been defined. Now let's go to intersite transport. Now intersite transport, there are two types, two ways we can communicate with the branches, right? So through IP, which is the most popular way and mostly used way, through SMTP, which is mostly for the email traffic, port 25. But in case if sometime IP communications aren't working, you can just go for port 25 traffic as well, right? It is not normally used. So IP traffic is normally used, but you see here default IP site. Wow, they didn't even bother to put dashes here. Default IP site link, right? Now what's going on here? So let's just go and try something like this. Right click on IP. So we're going to do it and understand that. Right click on IP and go to new site link, right? What are we about to do here? So you can see now, okay, Toronto and New York, suppose, have very good WAN connection, and they have direct WAN connection to that. So we can start defining and telling Active Directory that we're gonna go for Toronto dash New York dash Toronto, and we're gonna add Toronto. We're gonna click Toronto here, and we're gonna click New York here, and we're gonna click add like this. So we're telling Active Directory, hey, the Active Directory, there are these two branches that have direct connectivity here, and press OK. Maybe we want to do some further value changes or feature changes. So press OK. Let's see what can we change. So everyone did that? Press OK. Now you see here Toronto, New York, Toronto. If you double click that, if it's created, double click that, and now you can see the cost 100 and replicate every 180 minutes, 3 hours, right? Now we can change. Oh, the bandwidth is very good. You can change that 90 minutes, up to you. Maybe there is other data being transferred as well from other third-party servers, non-Microsoft servers as well, and Microsoft servers as well. Exchange servers are there, web servers are there, maybe they're replicating, right? So VMware servers are there, and they are doing cross-site migration as well, vMotions as well. So you can give Active Directory replication any type of bandwidth you want, and change schedule. Hey, Active Directory only replicates at this schedule. If you click change schedule, we can just go for don't replicate at day hours, or don't replicate between the peak hours, which is 10 to 2. But then if you do make some changes which are critical, you cannot even put that limit as well. Maybe there are some managers OUs you've created, and managers want them working right now in all the branches. Managers are from other branches as well, so you might want to replicate then and there that information, right? So we can schedule it, we can just leave it like that, we can make it less. So the rest is a security object, protect object from accidental. This is just attribute editor. We can just change the attributes of some of this, but we need to first define what is the topology, right? So cancel out from here. We didn't change anything. Oh, what was cost? Well, we'll get to the cost, because we need to first create more links, then we can tell what the cost is, right? So right click again anywhere here, which is new site link here, right? Again new site link, and this time we are going for New York dash samosa. That branch is the most tastiest one, dash New York. So this is another branch that we are connecting. So now New York is connected to samosa as well. Add, press OK. All as well if you want, because all are already connected to default site link. So if they are connected, so guys, one thing about this is it's never the case, or it could be, but it's not the case that every branch is necessarily connected with every other branch, right? It may be the case, and normally I saw that or you have seen that as well, that one branch may be connected to second and third branch, but that same branch is not connected to. So suppose there are North American branches of a global company, and then there are branches in Asia, and then there are branches in Africa, and then there are branches in Europe. So some of the branches are connected to each other, but across the continent, one of them is connected to, or two of them may be connected to across the continent, some other branch in another continent, right? So if there is a physical connection between the branches, only then we can define that, right? We can define 3 branches as well, but right now I'm just clearly trying to put that separate. Then we're going to draw a diagram, and then we're going to talk about this. So suppose there is that direct connection between New York, samosa in New York, and Toronto, New York, Toronto. Let's just build that triangle by then going for new site link here again, and that if we are building a triangle, so Toronto dash samosa dash Toronto. Now these 3 branches are connected as well, so this means they are connected to each other. If we go for these, but topology could be any type, any branch can connect to any other branch, and then exactly, so they are connected to each other, right? Everyone is connected to everyone else, right? But this is if physically it was there, right? Suppose the samosa branch is not connected directly to Toronto, it connects through Mississauga to Toronto. Suppose that's the case, and sometimes branches are not having the mesh topology, right? So it could be whatever physically you implement, whatever branch earns more, whichever 2 branches need to be communicated all the time, whichever 2 branches don't need communication right now, or we planned, the company did not invest, whatever the situation at that time of the company, for the topology is. So if we have created these three, how does it look like now? So if we go for this, so now there is that Toronto branch, there is that Milton branch, and then there is a Mississauga branch, right? So there is that connectivity here and here and here. But now what is cost? And you saw that when you created that, the cost was always showing this. Now how would you define cost here? Suppose I just put here cost equals here we can just put this. I put that here, then I'm gonna ask you why I'm putting this here. And yeah, it is priority. And now what's going on here? Yeah, lower the cost, higher the priority. So can you tell me a scenario here using this? If this happens, if we are replicating from here to here, take that route first. Whichever has the more priority, take that route first. And if that route is not available, then go for the other one, right? Second priority is the other route. So it will be, if it is TOR and Mill and Sam, no, that should be full, that full protocol for Samosa. Okay, so Toronto, Milton and Samosa. So where is the priority between Toronto and Samosa? Toronto and Milton, the replication will start first, always, right? And then Toronto and Samosa, if they are directly, the servers here are doing, there's a server here, there are servers here, there are servers here, and they are replicating each other. But the priority is that, hey, from Toronto, first always update this guy Milton, this server here, because our directors and bosses are here, or maybe there are some big applications here that need data right away, and then go for this guy here. And this server can also first replicate between these two. So this can replicate this, that can replicate this, then this can replicate this. If so it's connected, Milton is connecting here as well as there, but Milton has also been given a cost here. But we can go for the cost between the two. So we can have two-way defined cost as well, so that when Milton has something to change, who should the Milton tell first or replicate first, right? So but anyway, the cost here, if we put Toronto and Milton as a priority link for the Toronto servers to replicate, first it will replicate here, then it will replicate here. So how do we define here now? If we go back to this, we created those three links. Where do I go? Which one do I click and put 50? Which one? Toronto, New York? Which one? Third one? Why was I doing this guy and this guy? It's Timosa. I'm really. What? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I was testing you. See, I mean, God, man, and I'm so sad. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. No. Okay. No, I should say, look, bird, and I will just, change that. Oh, yeah, what? Where's the bird? Yeah. So, okay, so let's go for NY. All this time I was talking about Milton. Okay, so, and now, okay, the question was, which one should you change according to the map? So, Toronto and second one, right? So we go for 50. And okay, and then we go for Toronto, New York and Samosa was 80. So again here 80 or 50. 50 was actually the first one, right? And then Toronto and Samosa was 100. So we are defining this according to the connection, according to the quality of connection, the importance of the connection, importance of replication between the two, what is the political decisions being made, what needs to be updated right away, and that's why they invested on a very good connection between those two branches. So if they don't have that topology, you don't create that here, right? If they don't have, sorry? Yeah, so we can change that or we can leave it. That, okay, if priority is done, priority is being met, others, yeah, normal connectivity whenever, then Active Directory timing itself is that, okay, every 180 minutes. It's shown there, right? Every 180 minutes, they should be. So if the priority has been met, after that, 180 minutes, just send it to the 100 connection as well. Or prefer it as the next one after the priority has been done, right? So next one is nearest one is either 80, but if you don't have physical direct connection, then whatever is the next one, it's 100, right? So
Can you put the same number for more than one? Like
yeah, but whatever is the priority will be served first if physically possible. Then go for the whichever. Then it just decides.
Basically, if I put in the same priority, for example, for Toronto and New York, then we will go to someone.
So if it's the same priority, then it goes both ways. Replication is done or anyone. The deciding factor is not there. I mean, like when you have same priority, then I don't know what's the deciding factor would be. That's why we always put, hey, prefer this one first. I haven't seen in my network same values ever. It's always a little different because you need to prefer and have it activated on certain link right away after you have activated on the first link. You would go for priority 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You would define that, right? Instead of it deciding that, you would decide that which should you start replicating right after that, which you want it to replicate second and third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Is there any limitation to use this number, or we can use
Any.
100, 200,
Yeah, 1000.
1000?
Doesn't matter. Higher and lower numbers.
Who's going to give the value cost? Is it the networking guys?
And not right away as well. It's always a hit and trial thing. It's always we give certain priorities, then we check for 1 month, 2 months, and we get all the statistics. Or if the users are complaining at once, then we change. But for day one, we just test it. Oh, it's important. Okay, let's just put that and see for 2 weeks what happens. Because we cannot have a test environment for WAN links, so we just check it live with the best possible values. But it always changes, always. Yeah, they provide us first, but then we change it according to how the performance was, according to if there were any complaints. So that's why I was saying that every 6 months we are changing this because of something. Some new software introduced, more bandwidth required, investment was not there, so we rescheduled everything. We are always changing this one. That cost, change the cost now, there's a new link there, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then there is bridgehead server. There's that concept of bridgehead server. So if we go for this diagram again and go for time, which is 5:57. Oh, okay, the diagram again. So, oh man, there was a yawn. There was a sad yawn. Oh man, when will he finish? Oh, this means, oh, hey prof, at 3 minutes, just finish it. See my yawn? It's like, oh. So anyway, so what happens in the concept of bridgehead server? Suppose there are 3 or 4 servers in each branch. So there are 3 or 4 servers. First of all, not servers, domain controllers. I'm just talking about domain controllers. 3 or 4 domain controllers there. One of the domain controller must be responsible for sending information every 180 minutes. Right? So if there is only one domain controller per branch, which is a very bad idea, even if no matter how small the branch is, go for 2, get one virtual machine and have it replica DC, or even server core and make it a replica DC, but have 2, right? if there are 4 or 5 domain controllers, there is one election automatically held between the servers, and then Trump wins in that. Okay. So no, then in the election, so we then one domain controller is there. One domain controller is selected for bridgehead task. What is a bridgehead task? The only purpose is every 180 minutes, it's going to collect information of all the changes and modifications done on any of the servers within site. We know how fast is it? 45 seconds, right? So it already has gathered for 3 hours all the modifications that were done on these servers and these servers. After 3 hours, 180 minutes, suppose you did not change the 180 minutes, and now you know where to go and change that, right? After you create the site links between the branches, then only you can change that, right? So every 180 minutes or 90 minutes, if you change it, it sends its information. Hey, that's all what we changed here on this. And that domain controller also sends, hey, that's what I was, whatever changes I had, I'm just sending those changes. So one of them has to be a bridgehead server. One of them. So bridgehead server is selected or elected automatically, and then it is responsible for cross-site communication between domain controllers. 180 minutes in each site, there has to be one. If there's only one domain controller, that's the bridgehead server as well, if there are 2 branches for the same company, right? So that's what the bridgehead server is. Then the IP site link is what we configured already, that in the other diagram. And then there are so IP site link here, then we put the subnets there according to the actual subnet information, and then we put branches, and we have to put the servers or domain controllers directly in that branch, and we have to open the Active Directory sites and services and tell Active Directory that server has been transferred from this branch to that branch, that domain controller, it has been transferred. So I'm logically also putting it back to that branch where it's physically available right now, right? So this is all about sites and services. Let's go for VPN till 7:30. Huh? It's okay, samosas. They didn't mean it. They want to study more. Oh man, there's a pin drop silence. If I drop a pin, it's like ding. Everyone's like, after having Tim Hortons and samosa, you expect us to go beyond 6 o'clock? No way. Oh, everyone's like, ugh. Long weekend. Oh yeah, that topic.